This is the North Sea in the north of the Atlantic Ocean, in the northeast near Britain, Norway, Denmark, Netherlands, Germany, Belgium and France, and surrounded by them, is the world's busiest and most historical sea, where a lot of treasures, mysteries, and historical events are kept, and it was this ocean alone that made Europe the richest continent on Earth. In today's video, we will see how the North Sea became the lifeline of Europe, and what will make it even more important in the coming days. It is said that whoever controls the seas, rules the world. The North Sea, spanning 570,000 square kilometers, is the biggest example. For thousands of years, this sea has been the battleground for European powers where countless wars have been fought. These wars started in 43 AD when the Roman Empire attacked Britain through ships and captured it, and then for the first time ports were built here, which started trade between Britain and Central Europe. This was the first time when the world, and especially European empires, realized that to rule Europe, one must take control of the North Sea. After the collapse of the Roman Empire in the 8th century, control of the North Sea went to the Vikings in Scandinavian countries. These people used small boats to attack northern and central European countries, and looted them. These people had such an advantage with small ships that they could even enter the rivers of Europe and reach Central Europe. All of Europe was troubled by them, and in response, a few merchants in Germany formed an organization named Hanseatic League. The main purpose of this league is to protect European coastal cities from this looting of Vikings. This idea gradually became so popular that other European businessmen also joined this organization. These people began to build large navy, ships and trade posts to protect against Viking attacks. By the 15th century, the influence of the Hanseatic League was so great that from above Estonia to below the UK and France, the North Sea was under their control. The North Sea had now become safe for trade, massive ports had been built, and in the navy, Europe had no competition in the entire world. This was the time when Europeans thought through this navy, not just resources, and new continents would be discovered for this purpose. European countries sent their explorers to the seas of the rest of the world, and as a result then, America, Africa, India, East Asia, and Australia were discovered, and from there on, through this sea and navy, the British Empire ruled the entire world. The North Sea once again came into the spotlight during the World Wars when the Allies blocked the North Sea and cut off Germany's supply lines and changed the outcome of both world wars. Because of the North Sea, Germany could not attack Britain and capture it during World War II. Although at that time Hitler was literally unstoppable. After World War II, all weapons and ammunition were dumped in the North Sea, according to many researchers. Even today, about 1.5 million tons of ammunition is present under the North Sea, which has been lying under the sea for the last 70 years. But under the North Sea was not only ammunition, but much more that was going to make Europe a hub for trade, communication, and economic development before World War II. The North Sea was an important military, strategic component, but after World War II, the European countries fighting each other had become members of NATO together. An exclusive economic zone was given to every country sharing the coastline with the North Sea, according to which the resources and trade activity within this zone would be the right of that respective country. Now, the era of industrialization had come. As industries were established, consumerism was also increasing, and along with it the demand for automobiles, and all this activity, which was done on the strength of one energy source, was oil. At that time in Europe, only the UK and some parts of Germany were producing a little oil, but it was insufficient to sustain this growing economic activity, and thus, all of Western Europe was very highly dependent on the Middle East for its energy requirements. But then something happened that was going to change this whole situation. In 1969, Large reserves of natural gas were discovered near Groningen in the Netherlands. After this discovery, all North European countries, especially the UK and Norway, started aggressively searching for oil and gas in the North Sea because the largest economic zones in the North Sea, where there's massive exploration camps, were launched. Extensive drilling was done, but despite 200 attempts, nothing came out. Everyone had become disappointed, but then, in 1969, a company named Phillips Petroleum decided to give it one last try, and this time, it started drilling right at the corner of Norway's EEZ, where the UK, Netherlands, Germany, and Denmark's EEZs meet, and luckily here very large oil reserves were discovered. This discovery changed the fate of Norway, a country that was exporting fish and wood was now the world's biggest oil producer within a short span. The UK had also discovered oil and gas reserves here. After these discoveries, the UK was fulfilling 90% of its oil requirements from this North Field, and it had to import only 10% oil from outside because of these oil reserves today. Compared to other European countries, the UK does not depend on any external country for its energy requirements, and that's why even after the Russia-Ukraine war, it did not have to face an energy crisis as severely as Germany and other European countries. So in a nutshell, the North Sea holds the status of a backbone for the economies of these European countries, but extracting these resources from the North Sea is also not an easy task, because here many storms come, which often spoil the mood of the sea. In the last 60 years, many accidents have also occurred here, and many thousands of people have also lost their lives, often because of the waves coming from the Atlantic Ocean. In the North Sea, the waves become dangerously high, and it becomes very difficult for the ships passing through here. Similarly, the reserves of oil and gas in the North Sea are also depleting fast, and it may be that in a few years the dynamics of the North Sea totally change. Anyway, in the coming time, whatever happens, one thing is very clear, that the North Sea has had a very big hand in shaping today's world map. It is said that the Mediterranean Sea defined the classical world map, while the Atlantic Ocean created the modern world map, and now the Pacific Ocean is going to redefine the world map of the future, because the world's three major powers are very quickly increasing their control over the Pacific. One is China, the other is Russia, and the third is America. This sea is our world's future, and that's why the world superpowers are very quickly trying to take control of it. On this topic we have made these two videos, after which you will also get this clarity that naval dominance will be the means of progress in the future. The country whose navy is strong and which controls as many of the world seas will have that much stature and influence in the world. These are all the sources from which we have consulted for today's video. See you in the next video with another interesting topic. Take care of yourself.